Morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock and it's Thursday. And as you know, Thursday is Claims Day. I'll get to that in a second. This is your pre-opening comment, and it is video number 640. Please remember to hit the like if you like the work, and subscribe and take notifications. Doesn't cost anything and it helps support us. Okay, so the big news so far today is Walmart, and I'll get back to that in a second. Europe is a little higher, Asia is lower, but Asia is still in the midst of their Lunar New Year. And claims, as I mentioned, because it's Thursday, claims were actually up from 848,000 initial claims to 861,000, and they were also substantially higher than the expectations of 775. The market was actually in the range of down maybe 50 to 75, and currently is showing an opening of down 178, and it was down right around 200 a few minutes ago. So there's that. Continuing claims were in fact down, not much, but down, 4,494,000 versus last week's 4,558,000. We also had housing starts, which were lower at 1,580,000 on an annualized basis versus 1,670,000 on an annual basis. Okay, there are a couple of little things here to talk about. Airbus losing a little, Credit Suisse losing a little, going from 1417 to 1401, so nothing special there. The carryover from last night's earnings report on Tilray, which was better than expected. The stock was trading 31.51 at the end of the day yesterday, 32.41 today. But the big news is that Pfizer and Moderna both think that their vaccines are not effective versus this new South African strain. Besides that, we had BIDU and Walmart earnings. BIDU was a beat, both top and bottom, and although the stock was down at 308.68 last night, down 17.52, this morning it is further down, 292.44, down 25.21, and that's on a beat. What's more important, I think, because it puts into question the entire narrative here, were Walmart's earnings. They had a miss. The stock yesterday was up $1.54 to finish at $147.20, and that was great, and everybody was expecting earnings. Well, the surprise this morning was Walmart was a miss, and because of that miss, the stock is currently trading 139.40, down 8.28 or 5.6%. And that probably is adding about 70 Dow points. So we're down 178 or 180, and of that, roughly a third is all in Walmart. But what the issue is here is, if the biggest retail company in the world and the biggest employer in the U.S. has a miss, that kind of makes me wonder where all of this great economic activity is. Walmart's numbers were whatever Walmart's numbers were, but the division of them was brick and mortar and online, and online has picked up dramatically. So they're really coming into their own here, and yet they missed. So, I'm a little concerned about this. Mohammed Al-Arian was on CNBC, and I hate to make fun of anybody, but he was talking about excessive risk in the system and people moving out on the risk curve. And, that is very typical of an end stage activity. We always have seen it in the banks where reaching causes this kind of problem because they accept more risk in order to have, increases in their business. And it always comes back to bite them in the ass, always. And so, that and the excessive speculation in stocks that, nobody's ever heard about until, they go from 5 to 20 in a day or two. Or, you see some of these things. There's a company, Greenland Technologies, GTEC, 2140 up 1385. I mean, this is end stage kind of stuff. The screen is the bonds, which looked like they made a low yesterday and bounced to close up on the day and looked like they were going to follow through, but they did earlier. Let's see, here is last night, 2100 hours. Here's today. So we were up and we turned down, and now we are back towards yesterday's lows. So that's a problem for me. Bitcoin is a little lower. Let's see. Let's go back to the summary page. Okay, oil continues higher. New recovery high 62.29, last 61.47. So that's almost $1 off the highs, and yet still up 30 cents on the day. The nat gas is down 3 cents, even with all of the problems in the south and continuing storms. Gold is up 11. Silver is basically unchanged. Platinum is up 18. We don't need to look at the cattle. Orange juice, not doing anything. Coffee up another $1, but again, still in that weekly range. Lumber, 996.30 as a high, 986 down 560. As I said, the futures are 26 and etc. What we're seeing here is down 165 in the Dow, 135 in the Nas, and down 25.5 in the S&Ps. The dollar is lower again. Had a little bounce yesterday. I'll give it a look here. Had a little bounce yesterday, and I'll move this out so you can see on a regular basis. Made a recent low, closed on the high 2 days ago, followed through yesterday on the upside. This morning, lower high and lower low so far, and down on the day. Bitcoin also a little lower. That's a hard one to even discuss because it's had such a dynamic move to the upside that these little moves, like today down 640 this morning, is, kind of meaningless in the grand scheme of things. And just, couple of $100 or a couple of $1,000 from the high. Yesterday's high was 53.080. Another new high today. We're 52.145, down 640, as I said. Okay, so my issues here today are Walmart with a miss. Big surprise. BIDU with a beat top and bottom. Big surprise to the downside in the stock. And I also want to make mention there are two things happening today that ought to be some really good entertainment. And the first one is the House Financial Services hearing with the people from Reddit and Robinhood and a couple of others a couple of other players. So that ought to be interesting. And this afternoon is the Mars landing of that NASA has been watching so closely. So ought to be entertaining. I'll be back this afternoon. Be careful out there. This is one very volatile market.